An American commander too stubborn to lose had something to prove when facing down the mightiest navy in the world. He fought through blood and fire and turned a desperate fight into one of America's proudest victories. A 27-year-old who faced the Royal Navy on Lake Erie transferred command mid-battle under a hail of cannon fire and delivered one of the most iconic messages in U.S. military history. We have met the enemy, and they're ours. This is Oliver Hazard Perry. Welcome to Recon Lore, where American history isn't just history, it's lore. And we're bringing that America core with your daily dose of patriotic pride. The mission is to fight back against this anti-American culture with the stories of positive American history that help build the best nation in the world. If you love America, join the movement by subscribing and like the video so we can get as many of us together as fast as we can. Till our 250th anniversary of independence, this channel will be dropping a piece of American lore as much as possible. Share it with a friend, hit that notification bell to keep up with every video that's put out. The more support the channel gets, the more videos of American guts and glory come your way. Before he was the hero of Lake Erie, Oliver Hazard Perry was a Rhode Island boy, born into the sea. His father, Christopher Perry, fought in the Revolutionary War. His brother, Matthew Perry, would one day force open Japan's ports with a U.S. fleet. You could say that Oliver Perry's dad had a knack for creating quality seamen. Oliver joined the Navy at just 14. By 17, he was already an officer, sailing the Caribbean, hunting smugglers, and dodging British privateers. That wasn't some privileged officer sipping tea. Perry got his hands dirty. He once wrote home, "I've seen men die in storms and duels, but I am resolved to do my duty, whatever comes." And while he earned respect, he also felt overlooked. By 1812, he was stuck in Newport commanding a flotilla of gunboats that rarely saw action. He wrote bitterly to the Navy Department, "Let me be where I may do my country service." When the war broke out with Britain, he wanted in, desperately. And he got his chance, command of Lake Erie Squadron. Perry arrived in Pennsylvania in 1813 to find chaos. His fleet was a little more than 2 unfinished brigs, the Lawrence and the Niagara, plus some schooners. Supplies were scarce, guns were scarce, and the men were green with inexperience. But Perry, he threw himself into the work. He cut down forests, he supervised shipbuilders, politicked with neighboring towns for iron sails and gunpowder. He even dragged cannons over land because the British controlled surrounding waters. A young officer wrote, "Captain Perry worked with the spirit of 10 men, never sparing himself and never permitting despair. And his crew? A ragtag bunch of frontier farmers, sailors, and boys who had never touched a cannon. Perry drilled them relentlessly, teaching them farmhands how to fight like seamen. In one letter, he admitted, 'My men are undisciplined, my officers inexperienced, but they will do their duty.' By September, his ships were ready enough. And so were the British. Robert Barclay, the British commander, had 6 ships with veteran sailors and battle-tested guns. The odds? Not good. But Perry? He raised the flag, stitched with the dying words of his friend Captain James Lawrence. "Don't give up the ship." A sailor recalled, "When that flag rose, every man knew it was victory or death." September 10th, 1813, on Lake Erie, at 11:45 a.m., Perry's flagship Lawrence opened fire. The battle was on. The British gunners were deadly accurate. For 2 straight hours, the Lawrence took the brunt. Splinters shredded men, cannons blew apart, blood covered the deck. Out of 103 men aboard, 80 were killed or wounded. One survivor said, "The deck was a slaughterhouse, the cries of the wounded mingling with the crash of shots." Perry himself, he manned the guns. He refused to leave. When a cannon tore through a gun crew, he stepped in and fired. When smoke and carnage made it clear that the Lawrence wouldn't hold, he made the most insane decision of the battle, the most decisive decision of the battle. He hauled down his flag, climbed onto a rowboat with its blue banner, and had himself rowed half a mile across open water to the Niagara. Picture that. The enemy cannonballs splashing down, men screaming, and Perry standing tall in a boat, flag in hand. The Buffalo Gazette later declared, it was an act so daring, so exposed, that the enemy themselves could not but admire it. A British midshipman admitted, never did I see a more gallant sight than that officer passing in his boat under fire. On board the Niagara, Perry unleashed hell. He sailed straight into the British line, unleashing broadsides left and right. The Detroit and the Queen Charlotte was torn apart, smashing into each other in the chaos. In 15 minutes, the Royal Navy, the masters of the sea, were broken on Lake Erie. By 3 p.m., the fight was done. British ships struck their colors. And here's where Perry sealed his legend. He rowed back to his ruined Lawrence, standing among the dead and the wounded of the first ship, and accepted the British surrender right there. He hadn't abandoned his men. He then scribbled a message to General William Henry Harrison. We have met the enemy, and they're ours. 2 ships, 2 brigs, 1 schooner, and 1 sloop. 6 enemy vessels captured in 1 stroke. America had gained complete control of Lake Erie. The Niles Weekly Register gushed, this victory is among the most brilliant recorded in naval annals, placing the youthful Perry among the greatest commanders. Another paper wrote, the spirit of our revolution lives on in the bosom of Perry, who has shown that America fears no foe upon open waters. Perry's victory wasn't just a morale boost. It was decisive. With control of Lake Erie, Harrison's army invaded Canada and won the Battle of Thames, crushing British and native resistance in the Northwest. The War of 1812 didn't go our way, but Perry's win gave America breathing room and pride. Overnight, Perry was a hero. Songs were written, towns named streets after him. Paintings showed him standing proud in that little boat, flag in hand. But Perry, he stayed humble. He told his men, you have done what I've only led. The honor belongs to you. Later, he commanded squadrons in the Mediterranean and South America. But that flag, the flag that said, don't give up the ship, that became his eternal legacy. The Boston Patriots summed it up best. Such men are the strength of a republic. While we have Perry's, our freedom is safe. Think about it. 27 years old, outnumbered, his ships destroyed, his men losing their lives around him, and instead of surrender, he rose under fire, takes command, and wins. That's not just naval skill. That's not just luck. That's American grit. And stitched across his flag were the words that still carry weight. Don't give up the ship. Perry never did. And because of him, America never will. And to call out Mr. Chubby Sparkles, the fat electrician, don't mess with America's boats. This is Recon Lore, where American history isn't just history, it's lore. It's legend. It's American grit that becomes immortal. So if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you want to see more videos of American guts and glory, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.